y'all, welcome back to my channel. It is my birthday. Happy birthday to me. Today I'm coming with you guys with a story. Also, before I get into it, if you guys want to see the details on this look, this makeup look, please leave a comment down below. I will do a tutorial for you guys on how I achieved this makeup look. Also, the lashes, I did them myself. I have a tutorial on how I do my own individual lashes. I'll also be going into detail with another video sponsoring a brand later on. You'll see that, you know, in a few. If you're subscribed, you'll see it. This is technically like a signature look of mine. So let's get into it.
Bag, bitch.
Y'all, so this story takes place back in 2018. I was still in school, still in college. This is my senior year of college, I believe. Yeah, I think it's my senior year of college. And this is my first time living off campus. Yes, because the year before that, I was a RA. So I had to live on campus. And then the year before that, I was just being a student on campus. I had just came back from a trip from Rolling Loud. I had already got my keys to the apartment. And mind you, I was supposed to move in with a roommate at the time, but my roommate plans fell through last minute. So the landlord let me get, you know, just pay rent from my room, and he was gonna find another roommate. Mind you, the apartments that I was moving into was across the street from the school. So it was convenient for me. It was decently priced. It was only $500 for rent. I didn't have to pay for a parking ticket on campus, so that really helped me out. And so that's why I decided to move there. And mind you, I moved there last minute. The reviews were kind of but really, I just really needed to move somewhere because I was tired of being an RA, honestly. Like, I just really needed to have my own space. When I moved in, I had only my bedroom furniture and like some plates and stuff for the kitchen. I didn't have any living room furniture. And that was just my situation at the time. Mind you, I had a big sliding glass door in my room, and the sliding glass door did not have a lock. I told the landlord this. I was like, hey, I'm not really comfortable with this because there's no lock on the sliding glass door. So he came, instead of putting a lock, I guess it cost too much, even though it was, you know, my safety. He puts a wooden block in the bottom of the door. If you were to open the door, like, it would probably slightly open, but because there was a block at the very floorboard of the door, like, it was unable to open all the way. But still, like, I was always like kind of on edge about that because it was literally in my room. So there was a sliding glass door in the living room and in my room. Luckily though, we didn't have any problems with that, but that was kind of like the first red flag. Like I said, I didn't move in with a roommate, so my landlord was looking for a roommate at the time. And I remember on the first week I moved there, I'm coming from my internship. I'm driving up to my apartment, and in the sliding glass door, I see some type of sign, and I'm like, I wasn't notified by any maintenance. I wasn't notified by the apartment complex. Like, I double checked my email just to make sure. I checked at the front door to see if there was any sign saying, hey, we stopped by your apartment, blah, 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 blah. Nothing. So I was like, nobody was going to tell me someone was going to be in my room. Someone was going to be in the apartment while I was gone, you know. So I texted the landlord. I'm like, hey, I didn't know anybody was coming through. The sign was saying for rent, meaning like there was still a room for rent in the apartment. But, you know, I would have preferred to have been notified beforehand. Like, I would have been fine with that, but just like, let me know. So I texted the landlord, and he was like, oh, no, I'm sorry. Like, we'll let you know next time, blah, 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 blah. So me kind of being a little petty, because I also wasn't really ready for some random roommate to come in yet. I took the sign off the top of the door and I moved it to the bottom, which was kind of petty. But I moved it to the bottom, but it was still visible, right? So The next day, I go to my internship. I come back and the sign is at the top again, meaning someone came into the apartment. And so I text him that and I'm like, hey, same situation, like, did someone come in? Because I see the sign was moved. And he was like, oh, well, we got to put the sign up. And I'm like, okay, that's fine, but like, you should let me know when someone's coming into the apartment. So a few weeks passed. This was another major red flag of this apartment complex. I remember I'm sitting in my room and I think I was about to get into the shower, or I just got out the shower, so I was just kind of like laying around. And y'all, I hear the front door open and I'm like, what the hell? And someone's just walking in and I'm like, yo, what the hell? So I grab my stuff and next thing you know, I'm like, I said out loud, I was like, what the? And I opened like my front door and I'm like, who is that? Who's in the house? Like, who's that? I'm like, you know, like, what the, like, what's going on? And so I hear this man and he's like,
oh, it's maintenance.
You wasn't gonna knock? So I'm like, can you wait at the door? And he was like,
why?
What you mean, why? What? And I was like, because I don't know who you are. So can you wait at the door? Like, at this point, I had an attitude. Because I'm like, yo, like, you could have just walked into my room. Like, I don't know who you are. And you didn't even, like, identify yourself at the door. Nothing. I'm like, can you just wait? Because I need to get dressed. Like, go to the front of the door. Like, I don't know who you are. And so he was like, okay, whatever. Like he getting an attitude too. So I'm like, what the? Y'all, I throw on my stuff real quick. And I go to the front door and I'm like, who are you? And he's like, oh, I'm with maintenance. I'm here to, I don't know what he was even here to do. Like, I'm just like, so I'm like, well, nobody told me maintenance was coming today. And he was like,
yeah, well, I'm here.
I was not notified that you were coming today. So can you just come at another time? Is that a difficult thing to ask? And he was like, okay, he was coming to look at something. I don't know if it was in the kitchen or no, he was coming to check the locks on the roommate room. And just to make sure the key worked. And I'm like, okay, well, can you come tomorrow or something? Because like you kind of startled me. Like, I don't know who you are. And he was like, nah, I have to check the room. And I'm like, you can't do this tomorrow, like, or just come back another time. Like, I didn't even know you were coming at this moment. Mind you, like, it wasn't anything going on or anything like that, but it's just like, you really startled me. Like, I'm a woman, I'm living by myself right now. He's this big 6'2", probably 250-pound bulky man. Like, it really scared me. So I'm like, no, like, can you just come tomorrow? Like, just let the landlord know, can I get a notice? And he was like, we don't have to notify you when we come in. And I'm like, yes, you do. I live here, so yeah, you do need to notify me. No, because you don't pay rent for the entire apartment. You pay rent for your room. And I said,
wait a damn minute.
do I not live in this entire apartment? And he was like, yeah, but if you look at your lease. I'm like, first of all, don't talk to me about my lease, because I know what's on my lease. Like, I read my lease. Like, I don't know if he thought, you know, just because I'm just some college student that I'm not about to know what's going on. No, I read through my lease. Like, I'm not stupid. So I'm like, yeah, if I live here, yeah, I'm paying rent for my room, but I also have my property, my personal belongings in the kitchen. I have a key to this door. I have access to this door. So yeah, I do live in this apartment. And yeah, you do need to let somebody know. You need to identify yourself at the door before you come barging in. Like, he talking about some, man, I need to handle this door. I'm like, y'all, just ghetto. Like,
The ghetto. The ghetto.
ghetto ass apartment, y'all. So he's like, man, nah, I need to check this door. I need to check this door. I'm like, no, you don't. So I got my hand, like, I'm still like kind of closing the door. Mind you, he has his hand on the doorknob. I'm also like starting to get an attitude because I'm like, I'm not feeling the way you're talking to me right now. Like, as if you didn't just come in and not knock at all and try to come into my apartment. And I don't even know if you really maintenance or not. I need to verify this with the landlord. You can't come in. You can come in tomorrow. He's talking about, man, you need to move. Like, come on. So he's trying to open the door. And I'm like, no, I'm trying to close the door. Now you're trying to just barge in. And I don't even know who you are. I don't know where you from.
Let me tell you something, sweetheart. I don't know how y'all do shit where you from, but let me tell you something. Where I'm from, we don't do shit like that.
We don't just walk into people's house like that. Like, that's not cool. So I'm like, no. So I'm like pushing the door, and he's like, now I need to handle this door. I need to handle what I gotta do. And I'm like, I don't care what you gotta do. So he pushing the door back. At this point, we tuggling against the door, and he's a bigger dude than me. So he like finally like, I guess he got aggravated. He just like tried to like slam the door real quick, knowing my hand was right there. So my hand got hit by the door really, really hard. And I yelled. I said, ow, like literally yelled. And that's when he realized, okay, he hurt me. Yeah, you in trouble now. And I'm like, are you crazy? Have you lost your... Like, I started kind of going off because at this point, no. So at this point, I'm going off. I'm like, are you crazy? Have you lost your mind? You hit my hand. I'm about to put a lawsuit on this apartment and da-da-da-da-da. Like, I'm going off. And so I'm calling my mom. I'm like, Ma, the maintenance man at the door and da-da-da-da-da. And he trying to... Now he hear my mom on the phone. My mom like, what's going on? And I'm like, the maintenance man, he trying to get in the door. He just bust in. He was like, no, I'm not. I'm like, no, you didn't. He's like, yeah, I did. I'm like, no, you didn't. I said I was maintenance. I said, no, you told me you were maintenance when you were already inside my apartment. And my mom was like, so what exactly are you here for? And he was like, ma'am, she don't pay rent for this apartment. She only pay rent for her room. My mom was like, I don't give a damn. You are a grown man. Y'all, I really should have went to the doctor and I really should have sued because my hand was actually hurting from that. So once he heard my mom say she was going to call the landlord, that's when he was like trying to be all, oh no. Like, he tried to calm down. He's like, I'm just coming to check the lock on the other door. And she was getting mad because she don't want a roommate here. And I was like, whoa, who said all of that? And he was like, yeah, because you keep putting the rent sign down. And I'm like, oh, so you're the one that keeps coming in my apartment, not notifying me, not letting the landlord know that you're coming in my apartment to put the sign up. Finally, the maintenance man, he ends up leaving, and like my mom called the landlord and he's like apologizing. Mind you, the landlord was nice. Like, the landlord wasn't rude or anything like that. It was really like the maintenance and the management of the property. Like, and mind you, the maintenance man was married to the property manager. We gonna get to her story in a second. So y'all, fast forward, that happens, and I'm already like upset with the apartment. Not to mention like just little things with the apartment I was getting upset with. Like, I already didn't like the inside interior design of the area. When it would rain, there would be like little bugs by the door, like little I don't know what they call, not like no roaches or nothing. It was just disgusting. Like, I hated that apartment, y'all. I hated that apartment. You know, the landlord would always like ask me like, oh, have you found a roommate yet? Have you found a roommate yet? I'm like, no. He would be like, okay, well, I'm gonna keep looking. I'm just like, when you find a roommate, just, you know, let me know. Y'all, one day I'm coming home and the door is open, like wide open, and music is playing. And then I see this girl come out and she was like, oh, who are you? And I'm like, I live here. And she was like, oh, I didn't know anyone lived here. Yeah. He was like, oh, he just told me there was a vacant apartment room. And he was like, okay. She was just like, okay, well, I guess you're my roommate. And I'm like, yeah. So that was just another, like, it wasn't a big deal. He didn't even let me know that he found somebody. So me and her were both kind of confused by that, but it was just like, sure, like, okay, well, we gotta live somewhere. So later on, towards the end of the year, y'all, her car got broken into, my neighbor's car got broken into. Luckily, my car did not get broken into. Like, there was like a series of break-ins going on in the neighborhood, so it was just starting to get unsafe. Honestly, like, the neighborhood in itself did not seem that safe. Not only do I have to worry about someone coming in through my sliding glass door in my bedroom, but I also have to worry about maintenance just barging in and telling me that, oh, you only pay rent for your room so we can come in when we like. It was just such a headache. Mind you, neither me or my roommate at the time had brought living room furniture. So literally, like, because we didn't plan on staying, like, this wasn't like going to be a permanent household. Like, we both had the idea and the intention of moving after, so we just didn't buy living room furniture. Not to mention, I'm not gonna say she was messy, but like, okay, yeah, she was a little messy, like, but she would leave her mess in her area, and I didn't have a problem with that as long as it wasn't in my way or in the kitchen or anything like that. Like, I didn't like to bring guests over to my house or anything like that. Like, that's the type of place it was. So then fast forward, boom, I had just came from classes one day, and I'm in the kitchen, y'all. I'm making my sandwich in the kitchen, and the door starts to open. And before, like, the door actually opens, like, I put the stuff down and I kind of walk over to the door, and I put my foot on the door, and I look through the peephole, and I see the property management lady. I also see two people behind her. And mind you, this is like getting towards the end of our lease. I like slide my foot back, and she's like already like starting to push open the door, and she's like trying to push it open, and like it's slightly open at this point. So I have my foot like right there, and I'm like peeping over, and I'm like, can I help you? And mind you, the two people behind her are looking like what is going on? So she's like, yeah, I'm here to show the apartment. So I like slowly open the door, like slightly, like just a crack, and I'm like, I peep my head out, and I'm like, oh, nobody told us they were showing this apartment. And she's like,
yeah, I'm here to show the apartment.
And I'm like, well, was anybody gonna tell us that? Because we're not prepared. And luckily I had already locked my room door. I was so just like gung-ho about my safety and my security, so I would always lock my doors behind me, and till this day I still lock my doors behind me because it creeped me out that much. I was like, which room are you trying to see? And she was like,
the entire apartment and show the room.
and I was like, well, I pay rent for my room, so I don't want anyone going in my room. She couldn't say anything because, mind you, her husband was the maintenance man, and she always would have a stank little attitude with me and a stank little attitude with my roommate. I was like, yeah, I locked my door, so I don't want anyone going in my room, but you can show the apartment. And I was kind of being petty because I knew the apartment was not, honestly, like, I just knew it just wasn't where it needed to be. Mind you, I didn't know if my roommate was home. I did not know at all. Y'all, she comes in, there's no living room furniture. Mind you, like I said, the place was outdated. White fridge, wooden cabinets, broken cabinets, wallpaper just looks a mess. Like, the wall paint just looks like, it just was the ghetto. Like, it just was a no.
What is this, honey? This is where you live, honey. Let me see what's going on. Oh, they have a white refrigerator. I was like, oh, not a white refrigerator. Girl, please put your shoes on. Let's go find you a home.
So they're looking around like, oh, like, and I'm low-key doing it on purpose because I was like, y'all want to mess with me? Like, okay, cool. I'm gonna mess with y'all back. She's just kind of like trying to be like, oh yeah, you know, we try to annually paint the walls. And I was like, nobody painted when I was here. Now, this is where things got messed up though. So she's coming in, and mind you, it's nothing to show. Like, you walk in, the kitchen is already right there, wide open. The living room is already right there. Like, the blinds are broken. My room is locked, so there was nowhere for them to go and look at. Like, my room was the master room, so they couldn't even see the master room or the master bedroom or the master bathroom, because my bathroom was connected. So they couldn't even see that, even though I had a pretty big room. And she wasn't about to open my door because, yeah, no, I paid rent for my room. The only thing there was to look at was the living room. So next thing you know, she starts heading towards the back, and I'm looking to see if she's going towards my room. She's not. She starts going towards my roommate's room. She opens her bathroom. I didn't see what they saw yet, because I didn't go in my roommate's bathroom. I never went in her room or anything like that. She opens the bathroom, and the two people looking, they're like I could just see their face. Like, I can't see the bathroom, but I can see their face, and they're like they're just not saying anything. Like, you could just tell it was awkward. And the property manager, she's just like nervously laughing, like, and next thing you know, as she was talking to them in a regular tone, when she opened the room door and they stepped in the room, she started whispering. She's talking to them, and then they step out, and she slowly cracks the door, leaves the door cracked. I mean, I'm still standing in the kitchen making my little sandwich, but I don't know what they saw. She's like, yeah, we're gonna get ready to leave now. And I'm like, all right. The two people she was showing the room to, like, the girl, it was a girl and a boy. The girl was looking like, they leave, they go out. And I'm walking back towards my room. I see that my roommate's room is like cracked open, and I see her sleeping on her bed with barely any clothes on. And mind you, I didn't see what they saw. I only could see them like going and turning the corner. Like, there's a wall right there, so I can't see what they're looking at. So I didn't even know she was home. She told me before she was a hard sleeper, so she must have not heard them. I'm like, I know this lady. In my head, I'm like, I know this lady did not open her room door and take them two people into this girl room while she's sleeping with barely any of her clothes on. I'm like, I just know she did not. I'm like, oh my gosh. Mind you, her room, like, if there's like a little hallway, and her room is on this side, her bathroom is on this side of the hallway. The bathroom was wide open. Mind you, when I was there and there was nobody, they didn't come visit, all her doors were closed. So her bathroom at this point is wide open. I turn on the light, and I mean, her bathroom was, I'm not trying to call her any, type of way, but it was pretty nasty. Like, it was stuff in the toilet. Like, it was her bathroom, so like her privacy, her respect, but they literally left the door wide open. Laundry everywhere, panty liner on the floor, stuff in the toilet, bathtub open, ring around the bathtub. It was pretty nasty, I'm not gonna lie. But like, she showed them that. And like, mind you, it's like, if y'all notify us that y'all are coming, I'm pretty sure my roommate would have had her stuff clean. I wasn't gonna show my stuff anyways, but like, if you wanted to see stuff, like, notify people so that we can have it prepared. So I knock on my roommate's door, and I'm like, hey, knock, 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 knock. She's a hard sleeper. Knock, 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 knock. And she's like, huh? She's like, what's going on? I'm like, you didn't hear them come in? She's like, come in the apartment. Who came in the apartment? I'm like, no, they came in your room. The property manager opened your door, opened your bathroom, and showed two people your room. And she gets up like kind of like in a panic, because I mean, gets up. She's just like in a frenzy. She's like, what? Like, she did what? Like, people was in my room. She was like, yes. I'm like, yes, they were standing inside your room. She starts like getting mad. She's not mad at me, because I told her, like, I didn't know they was coming in. My room door was locked, so they didn't come in my room. I told her, I was like, I didn't even know you were here. And she was like, yeah, because I was asleep. My thing is, she could have peeked in your room, saw you were asleep, and been like, oh, I guess we'll have to show you another time. But no, like, she just opened the door, came in your room, like, and showed your bathroom. She was like, what? Oh, hell no. So she's like, she's still there? I'm like, she probably still outside. She puts on her stuff real quick. She goes outside. She gets to cussing this lady out, man. I mean, cussing her ass out. She's like, y'all ain't gonna let nobody know when somebody coming in the apartment. She's like, I'm sick of this. She was already going through stuff. So honestly, I'm not even gonna sit here and call her, you know, like she was nasty or anything, because she was going through some personal stuff. And you know, when you're going through some personal stuff, like, some people get like depression cleaning, like they don't start taking care of themselves. This just was like cherry on top. Not only that, but like someone just broke into her car the week before. She went out there, she cursed their ass out. Cursed them clean, cursed that lady clean out. That was the end of that situation, y'all. But moving out was even hectic, because when I tell you, my roommate, she moved out before I did. But when I moved out, like, I at least got to see everything, make sure everything was clean, so that they wouldn't charge us any cleaning fees. I didn't want them to come back and say nothing. When I tell y'all, I cleaned that place from top to bottom. And when I tell y'all, when I moved out, do you know the freaking landlord tried to charge us everything we needed to pay? We paid it by the month. And so he talking about some, oh, well, these are the fees from each month from the excess lighting bill. And that's not included in the monthly fee. I was like, are you kidding me? I argued them down. I was like, yeah, I'm not paying that, because one, I took pictures of the place. This place is clean. You're not about to charge me any cleaning fees, and you're not about to charge me any excess fees. Everything that I needed to pay was paid by the month. So you're not about to sit here and tell me at the end of my lease, no, that you're going to charge me for each month that I was there an electricity bill that I could have paid if it was added to the monthly bill. That is my story. That is the apartment I just really hated. If you went to the school I graduated from, y'all just know, don't go to any townhome apartments that are across the street. Bump those apartments. Like, share, and subscribe this video. Peace out.